Hello, yogis. Welcome to Aerial Yoga. My name is Allison Scott, and I am a yoga teacher, health counselor, circus performer, and lover of all things aerial arts. So it is a pleasure for me to bring this class to you this morning, and it'll be a nice, short, and sweet little flow to help strengthen and decompress the spine, lengthen out the spine, and strengthen the core. So before we get started, there are a few key points that I'd like to make. First being, always make sure to treat your hammock like your partner. So you want to keep a nice firm grip on the fabric on both sides, and especially when we're up in the air or upside down. Definitely make sure you are keeping yourself safe. Next key point is to listen very carefully to my cues, especially since this is a video and I'm not in person with you to help demonstrate it to make sure you're doing it correctly. Definitely watch where I'm placing my hands, listen to how I'm describing to get in and out of the movement so that you keep yourself safe at all times. Lastly, there are a few contraindications that would prohibit you from participating in this type of class, mainly for your safety. So if you're unsure, check with the doctor before participating in a class. And if you know for sure, then this is not recommended for you. So those contraindications would include pregnancy, glaucoma, vertigo, any recent surgery, osteoporosis, any bone weakness, carpal tunnel, recent stroke or hernia, high or low blood pressure, and if you've had Botox in the last 4 hours. So with any of those, you would want to be very careful and make sure that you are keeping yourself safe. Beautiful. So before we get into the movement or into our breath work and our meditation, I just want to demonstrate our recovery postures. So these poses are what we will come into if we are finishing up a segment of a flow or if you need a break at any point. So these poses will always be available to you. You don't need to wait for me to guide them for you to go into them. If you need a break, take it. So the first being called Star Watcher or Stargazer. Find your plumb line right beneath the fabric, and then guide the loop of the fabric right underneath the shoulder blades. So kind of come here. Okay? So once you find that placement, bringing the fabric right underneath the shoulder blades, start to lean back, step the feet forward, and bend the knees. And then interlace the fingers behind the head and look up. And then you'll start to gently glide side to side. And you can move nice and slow. There's no rush. Bending the knee of the side that you are leaning to. And you can take that a few times. You can take that as long as you'd like. To come out, grab the fabric, start to walk the knees back in, and gently stand yourself back up. The next option is child's pose. So I want to come into the fabric. Give yourself enough space to sit your bum down into the fabric. So once you come into it, bring the arms back towards the back of the fabric. And then the arms can come to the outside. Make sure that there's enough space for you to lean forward. So letting the shoulders kind of come through the fabric, but keeping the arms behind you. Start to fold yourself in. Closing the eyes. And just slowing down. You can take as many breaths here as you'd like. Stay as long as you'd like. Folding yourself in as much as you can. Beautiful. So, before we get into our flow, we will start with a short seated breath work and centering. I always love to start on the ground when I'm breathing. So you can bring yourself in front of your fabric, come down to sit into a comfortable seat. You can sit in easy pose with one ankle in front of the other, or you can cross the legs. You can come into lotus, whatever feels comfortable. If you're coming into lotus, you would bring the top of the opposite foot to the opposite hip and crossing the legs. And if that's too much, easy pose is beautiful. So just start to relax. Just start to soften the spine, the chest, soften the legs, rub the tops of the thighs a couple of times, relax the jaw, and then start to gently rock the head side to side, up and down, loosening up the jaw, coming into a steady seat. Let the spine lengthen, the chest open. Bring your palms together at your heart and just start to notice how you're breathing. Notice if the breath is tight, if it's getting stuck in any particular space, if it's deep or if it's shallow in the chest. Without changing anything or manipulating the breath, just notice. Sometimes awareness is enough to create some opening. My teachers love to say where the attention goes, energy flows, or prana flows. So life force energy through the breath can start to travel into those kind of darker crevices and crannies in the body that we don't really give as much attention to. And when you feel comfortable, start to bring more attention to the breath. Starting to control it a little bit more. So coming into what's called Dirga Pranayama, or the 3-part breath. So breathing in and out of the nose. Start to send the breath down into the belly, up into the ribs, and then up into the chest. And as you exhale, empty the chest, ribs, low belly. Start to draw the belly button in. And then inhale into the belly, into the ribs, and into the chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, low belly. And do that a few more times. Starting to layer in a soft Ujjayi pranayama, or the ocean breath. So it's a gentle constriction in the back of the throat. On the inhale and the exhale. So the mouth stays closed, but the throat is nice and open. It's kind of like the sensation of fogging up a mirror. And this breath is powerful because Jai meaning victory, Ujjayi breath is victory over the mind. So this breath helps to control or to encourage you to overcome any distractions and just keep the focus in the body in the present moment in each posture. And slowing the breath down as much as you can. Take one more inhale, lengthen the arms all the way up. And then exhale, sweep them down by the sides. You can gently open the eyes. And then make your way up to stand. So, taking your time, coming onto the soles of the feet in a Tadasana pose. Find your plumb line, so come right underneath the fabric. And then finding the sides of the fabric, bring the hands down towards the bottom loop and take a step forward. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to come into a crescent lunge. Shift your weight over into the left foot and finding the bottom loop of the fabric, bending the right leg, step the top of the right foot into the bottom of the fabric. When you feel confident, slight bend in the left knee, engage the core, bring the hands to the chest. And then as you inhale, start to bend the knee and lightly press the foot into the fabric. Exhale to come back up to stand. And we'll do that again. Inhale. And exhale. So starting to maybe stretch a little bit more each side. Try to keep that standing and bent knee in the same, hugging in towards the center line. Maybe lift the corners of the mouth. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. Keeping that breath nice and deep and steady. Inhale. And exhale. If you wobble, that's okay. Beautiful. Finding your fabric, step that foot down. Standing in Tadasana for just a moment. Shift the weight over towards the right leg. Step the top of the left foot into the fabric. Finding the hands at the center of the heart. Take a breath here to get grounded. So same thing when you're ready. Inhale, bend that front leg, press the back foot into the fabric and lengthen. Exhale, draw that foot back in. A few more times. Keeping the navel drawing in. Get a little bit deeper of a stretch each time. Nice bend in that front knee. One more time. Beautiful. You can find the fabric, step that foot down, take a pause. Coming into our stargazer, bringing the fabric underneath the shoulder blades, sitting back, interlace the hands, step the feet forward and sway. Beautiful. Hands to the fabric, walk yourself back up. Now this time, we'll start behind the fabric, setting up for our tree pose. We're going to start on the left side. So first, just step the left foot in so that the fabric is underneath the arch of the left foot. Step yourself up. Beautiful. Now, taking the right foot behind the fabric, around the front, and towards the inside. Be careful to bring that foot to either the shin or the inner thigh, just not on the knee. Now that same side that leg is bent, so the right side, take that same side arm, right arm, will come around to the front, so that elbow comes to the outer right side of the fabric. The left arm will stay behind. And then bringing both palms together, hands to heart. Take a few breaths here. Notice if the mind starts to wander, if the heart rate gets really quick, start to slow the breath down. Noticing sensation. Notice your body's tendency to want to rush. So coming out, instead of rushing out, can you come out slowly? So come out the way you came in, bringing the same side arm back around the back. And then switch, bringing the right foot to the inside, making the fabric arch or bunch up underneath the arch of the right foot. Left foot will come back behind. The leg will come out and around towards the front, inner shin or thigh, just not on the knee. And then same side arm, the left side, will come around towards the front. The right arm will stay behind the back of the right side, and then bring both palms together at the heart. And breathe, get nice and long in the spine. And then when you're ready to come out, slowly come out the way you came in. Supporting yourself with the right side, bring the left arm back around the back. Left foot will come forward to the front, and then slowly bring yourself down. Perfect. From here, you can take a seat, and then come into a little child's pose. Beautiful. When you're ready to come out, stand right up. Next, we'll be moving into some inversions. So when you're ready, we'll start at the back of the fabric. We will come into our inverted frog, and I will show you from behind so that when I fold back, you'll be able to see me. So from here, you want the loop of the fabric to be hips width apart, and you want it to be right at your sacrum. So you don't want to be sitting on it. You don't want it to be too high up. You want it to be right at the sacrum, right at the low back, about at the hip bones. Take a step forward as you start to lean back, bringing the hands high up. Bend the knees and bring them out towards the sides. And then bring the feet towards the front of the hammock. And then bring the tops of the feet around the inside so that they can hook onto the fabric. And then let yourself hang down. And breathe. If you feel comfortable, you can bring the soles of the feet together. Make sure there's enough space underneath you for your head to just hang. You can sway side to side, look side to side. When you're ready to come out, chin tucks towards the chest, grab the fabric, and then we'll come into a saddle from here. So just let the legs open out wide. And a couple of options here. You can either stay here, you can bring your hands towards the inner thighs, the ankles, or towards, with the peace fingers, towards the big toes. And then just let gravity do the work. Start to hang. Relax. Relax the jaw, relax the neck. When you're ready to come out, release. Chin towards the chest, grab up at the fabric, and then slowly bring yourself back up. Don't come all the way up to stand. Bring the fabric beneath the shoulder blades, and then come into your stargazer. Notice yourself relax. Beautiful. So then, start to walk yourself back up. Come towards the front of the fabric. And we'll come into our core strengthening series. So we'll first make our way into a plank position. So again, find the plumb line of the fabric, just to know where you're sending your feet. Take a step forward, and then bring the palms down towards the ground. And then gently start to guide your feet back. Watch for any wind that might blow your fabric away. So you can step one foot at a time into the loop. Make sure to bring the wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Kick the top of the foot in so you can send the other foot back and breathe. The breath will be your friend here. Press through all fingertips. Hollow out the spine, or hollow out the shoulders. Draw the belly button in and squeeze the legs together. Take a deep breath. And then exhale, bend the knees, draw them in towards your nose, and inhale to send them back. We'll do that 5 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Beautiful. Bring the knees down. We'll take a break for the wrists. Pause, come down into a regular child's pose. Relaxing the jaw. When you're ready, we'll come back into our plank position. And this time, we'll come into a pike. So now lift the hips up over the shoulders and then hang out here. Squeeze the legs together, coming into like a right angle. Maybe start to draw the knees in a couple of times. When you're ready, slowly come out. Drop the knees. Come back to sit up on the heels, taking a pause. Finding the fabric. Use it to guide you as you stand. And then another core strengthening pose. We're going to sit in our hammock. And we're just going to come into some swings. So we want the fabric to be about at the low back so that you can hollow up the body as you swing. And then draw the knees back and then forward. Keeping the navel hugging in towards the spine. And if that's easy, you can scissor the legs. Beautiful. Come back up. Come into your stargazer, sinking back. Giving the core a rest. Beautiful. So now, come down onto the knees. Bring the fabric in front. And from here we'll come into some cat-cow tilts. So bring the arms through the fabric and then start to turn them away so that you can bring them around through the middle and then grab the fabric. We'll come up onto the knees, and as you inhale, keeping the elbows bent, start to sink the heart down towards the earth. Nice arch in the low back, tailbone reaches back. As you exhale, belly button hugs in, curl from the tailbone, chin towards the chest, come up to stand on the knees. And then inhale, sink the heart, arch the spine. Looking forward, opening the chest. Exhale, round. Do that a few more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Come all the way up slowly. Sit. Bringing the feet a little bit wider than the hips. Sink the hips back between the heels. Beautiful. Then reaching both arms through, just like in cat-cow. Turn the hands out. Bring them through the middle. And grab the fabric. Beautiful. Then straightening the arms, start to let the chest hang forward. And you can hang out here as long as you'd like, or you can start to inhale and then exhale, letting the head fall back. And then when you're ready, start to come back up, release, grabbing the fabric to support you as you make your way up to stand. Beautiful. And now from here we'll come into some standing stretches, coming into our forward fold. Step forward so you're underneath your plumb line, bringing the bottom of the hammock right about at the hips. And then as you exhale, hinge forward, bend the knees, come down to fold. You can grab opposite hand to opposite elbow, sway side to side. You can straighten the legs. You can wrap the arms around the back of the ankles. Just deepening the fold. Let the head hang heavy. Relax the jaw. And then start to come to a halfway lift. Inhale. And slowly walk the hands back up so you can stand. Beautiful. Now our final couple of poses before we come to rest, we'll come into a standing split. So take a step back. Step your right foot into the hammock so it's nice and straight, starting with the foot flexed. Now start to walk the hands up, arms nice and straight. So you'll do a lot of upper body work too to keep the shoulders protected. So take a step, start to lean forward, and then you could start to press forward, keeping the chest nice and open. You can even step to flip to the top front big toe and point the toes of the front foot coming into your split, keeping the elbows hugging in towards the center line. And then exhale, start to come back. Lower the hands, release that top foot down, and we'll switch sides. Opposite foot comes in. Arch that front foot. Start to slowly, there's a lot of bugs in my backyard here today. Lots of mosquitoes. So get those out of your way. Start to slowly pressing the front foot forward. Keep a nice pull with the top arms. You can pop to start to flip to the top of the back foot or the big toe. Point the toes, look up. Breathing into your split. Finding that nice soft ocean breath. To come out, exhale. Slowly. Beautiful. Release that top leg. Come around towards the front. Setting up for your cocoon of love, your final resting pose. Your hammock shavasana. So make sure the fabric isn't all twisted. Finding the front edge so that you can come to sit your bum inside. And adjust how you need so that you can bring your feet inside. Grab the back of the fabric so you can lengthen out nice and long with your arms overhead. And then just take as long as you would like here, your final resting cocoon of love, to feel weightless, letting any stress or tension bubble up to the surface. Completely release and completely let go, letting gravity do the work. Starting to absorb all of the benefits of the practice. Letting the breath be light. You can stay here again as long as you would like. When you're ready to come out, take a deep breath in to awaken. Start to wiggle fingers and toes. And then you can slowly bend the knees, draw the feet back in, step one leg at a time, out. Draw the back of the fabric underneath the neck, using the fabric to help guide you up to sit. I hope you enjoyed this quick little sequence. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.